Hey guys, it's Shay and I'm here with my partner Eli. Welcome back to another episode of the Nani Network.
Welcome. The podcast where we crack open a can of hot air and give you the unbiased, unfiltered, but full of love opinion on anime 2 shows at a time.
You heard it. From the underdog's journey to the darkest tale, let's see where your favorite anime lands on the Nani Network scale. So in today's episode, we have a fun blast from the past. We're going to be talking about our favorite or top 2 Naruto fight scenes.
You heard it. Just like our previous countdown, we are going to be giving you 2 from Shay, 2 from me, totaling up to 4 of our best fucking iconic Naruto fight scenes. This is our childhood in a sense,
and iconic to us, not just like, obviously we tried to stay away from some of the more major battles, like, so if you want to hear us talk about Kaguya and versus Team 7, it's not gonna happen, right? Everyone knows that. It's amazing.
But this is the things that really touched us as genuine fans of the fucking franchise. So we'll start things off with my first one, which is frickin' Jiraiya versus the Pains. If you have watched Naruto Shippuden, if you've watched Naruto, you know who the fuck Jiraiya is. And if you watch Naruto Shippuden, you definitely know this fight. The threat of the Akatsuki had reached like the highest of that point in the series, and Jiraiya went to the Hidden Range village to basically figure out what was going on. He kind of like saw inklings of who the fuck was behind this stuff, and he realized it might have been one of these 3 kids, or the total of 3 kids, which it basically fucking was. These 3 kids who he had mentored and kept alive in the Hidden Rain village. So he went to the Hidden Rain village to figure out what the fuck was going on with the Akatsuki, and he was confronted with their leader, Pain. And the fight that ensued led to one of the most dramatic, tragic, and craziest fucking scenes in the anime history. Like, in Naruto's history, for sure. Like, the tremblings of that went on forever, because we see freaking Jiraiya in a flashback every 5 seconds. Every time he used a Rasengan to like kill somebody or do the final battle, they have Jiraiya, his dad, and Konohamaru, and everyone who can use a Rasengan.
Naruto is nothing if not sentimental.
You understand? So it was just, on top of the fact that the battle was crazy, like Jiraiya put on one of the biggest fucking fights. He went into full Sage mode. He had his 2 fucking Toad counterparts with him. He was using his hair whips. He was using jutsu that we had never seen before, and he was just truly outmatched by just the sheer strength of all these different Pains, these dummy dolls that could not fucking go down. And just for the bare iconic change that it brought to freaking Naruto, I think this fight cannot not be on the list.
That's one of the fights that I just couldn't watch in its entirety. In my mind, Jiraiya is still alive and well and like, riding Ichi Paradise in a village somewhere. I think that he's off exploring and traveling, and he's writing his book in like one of the other villages. I refuse to believe.
Wake up, mister!
I can't, because Naruto in its entirety has probably killed like 3 characters, and guess what? I've skipped all their deaths. I begrudgingly had to watch Neji die for like 7 episodes, but I refuse. I won't do it. I will not do it. Y'all took everything from him. Everything.
Yeah.
So I can't. And I actually like Jiraiya.
You know?
So I guess we'll get into my first fight scene. So the scene that was very memorable to me actually took place in just regular old Naruto. And it would be the whole chase arc that ensued when the Sound Village Nin not captured, I guess he went with them. When they took Sasuke, they were taking him to Orochimaru. So we had a team up between Naruto, Shikamaru, Neji, and Choji. A very motley crew, right? Like, I wouldn't expect a combination from
they were all, for the most part, from different teams too.
Like, right. So they weren't familiar with working with each other, but fortunately they kind of split off in their fights. It's not like teamwork was really an essence of this battle, but I loved the culmination of all of these fights as they happened simultaneously, because at this part each of these kids were still chunin, right? I think Shikamaru had passed his test, but I don't think he officially got the Jonin rank. But they were all...
Oh, no, reverse. They were still Genin, but
yes.
He hadn't been chunin, yeah.
Yes, so they were all still Genin, and they were fighting, like, essentially soldiers of the Sound Village.
Right.
So I was like, character protection aside, I fully was expecting them all to die or be maimed or at least lose the fight.
Not for
all
nothing.
of them. I had no faith.
I told Shay, like, little did I know, I had hindsight. I literally thought Neji was gonna be done, and I thought Choji was
Yes.
clipped.
Yes.
Like, those specific battles, like, this is what I think kind of pushed our main little crew forward into Naruto Shippuden. And they realized how much of a disadvantage they were at against these people. You have to whip out like your most exhausting, deteriorating fucking jutsu just to survive.
Your life threatening jutsu, like you're in case of emergency jutsu. You're 12, my guy.
They're just kids.
Like, so, and this is not for Neji and Shikamaru, I won't say that this was anything against their abilities, but it just really put into perspective how strong their opponents were, right? Because Neji was a prodigy, right? If Naruto wasn't who Naruto was, Neji probably would have won that fight in the Chunin exams.
And battle sense and experience matters.
Yes. So the fact that they all won, and I like that it wasn't that they won by like pulling out some asinine move. Like they were beaten to a pulp. Like they literally had to use their mind and their wits and everything they had, and they gave everything they had in these battles. We see Choji using his I forget, it was like soldier pills or the equivalent of like soldier pills.
Food pills.
Neji is out here thinking on his feet and whipping out some next level shit.
Counteract the blind spot that he has in the Byakugan.
Yeah, I want to say, I could be wrong, but I think he leveled up here and he was able to do like faster palms in this fight.
Oh yeah, he's just able to move a little faster.
Listen, I was like, do what you can, sweetie, because right now you got a arrow through your chest. You're fighting a grown ass man, like
a grown ass spider fucking man.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
So
Weirdo.
I thoroughly enjoyed that fight and the development that came from it. They were all gravely injured. It wasn't one of those things where it's just like, oh yeah, I got a couple of scuffs, let me just like get up and like fight the next bad guys. Like, no, they gave everything they had in these battles and they almost paid the price. Like, we saw Choji was in the intensive care unit.
He needs some milk.
Neji was being like his wound was being closed with like his own hair, I believe. Like they like wrote, because I used to read the Naruto manga, like not to like
they were
full disclosure.
both like, I think that the entirety of the hospital staff was divided amongst healing them.
And still no Sasuke.
Fuck Sasuke. JK, I love Sasuke. But like, yeah, literally.
Everybody is on their ass. Rock Lee just got better and now he's crippled again. You guys have fucked our friends and still no Sasuke. Where is he?
Naruto's the only one who lost his fight. I've been so mad. Like, we came here because of you, my guy, and the least you could have done was like, I mean, that's neither here nor there, but yes.
He tries. My second up for best Naruto fight scenes, I guess I'm just a sentimental motherfucker because I have Saratobi Sensei versus Orochimaru. I think this was our first glimpse of how dark Naruto could potentially get. And what was this? This was like the first time the Hidden Leaf Village got destroyed? If I'm not mistaken.
It was the first time.
It was the first time the Hidden Leaf Village got destroyed.
In Naruto.
In Naruto, that it had gotten destroyed. So this is like our first little glimpse of what was to come, if you know the series. But the third Hokage, Saratobi, he was like Naruto's grandfather. If you know, Naruto has a lot of iconic men in his life and, some women who have mentored him. And, like you have like Asuma Sensei, who was like his father. And then Aruka Sensei. Asuma. And the third Hokage was basically like his grandfather. And to see him have to fight, like we all knew that old man shouldn't have still been fighting. Like he put up a hell of a fucking battle.
He did great.
He did absolutely batshit crazy. And this was our first glimpse, which is to me what makes it really iconic, of the jutsu that Naruto's father Minato used to seal him and his mother, which is why like it was so hard to get him resurrected again. Because
the Reaper seal?
The Reaper seal to like seal off Orochimaru's arms and stop him from using fucking jutsu. Like this battle got so freaking real that they were using. This was our first glimpse at forbidden jutsu.
Being 11 and watching that, it actually spooked me a little because I'm like, that was scary. Like
I didn't like Saratobi's monkey man. Like everything about it was like very grim. I believe so. And like they had like the seal where like, yo, nobody can leave this unless I die. Like, you know, it got so freaking real.
Intense.
It was
very
intense and it was too much. And Orochimaru in general is a creepy ass fuck character.
Yeah, so that whole build-up was actually, like, it was so good.
Was that the first death that we saw in Naruto?
Yes.
I believe so. That we knew his parents died later on, like but this is the first death that we encountered.
I don't know if you count Haru.
Oh yeah, and
but that wasn't like
the other swordsman in the fog, Zabuza.
That was kind of like a bad guy death, but this was
I get character death,
like a familial death.
Somebody in our hearts.
Yeah, that was real. I mean, he was old, but I was like, God damn, like y'all couldn't let this man retire in peace. But then again, I wonder why he didn't like choose a successor like faster, because like okay.
This pussy clean, this pussy squeaky, that pussy on, that pussy creaky.
I mean, I
like,
get
what's
it.
going on here?
Yeah, you retire, my guy. This is no longer your problem. But
exactly. Ugh, it was so sad.
Okay, so for my last scene that was iconic to me would be the battle between Team Taka, Sasuke's new crew, and Killer Bee. And that would be because up until this point in Naruto, Sasuke to me was just like kind of running around unchecked. Like the
humbling of Sasuke.
That's what this battle would have been named, because up until this point, you know, he had a few run-ins with Team 7. Naruto, I don't think Naruto was still trying to get through to him, so he didn't want to fight him, and that reluctance, I think, made him weaker or more hesitant. And then we know Sakura's not gonna fight Sasuke, and then Kakashi I feel like didn't want to be bothered. So I think that everyone else was kind of like, maybe not pulling their punches was the right word, but they were very reluctant to engage him in battle. Killer Bee had none of those qualms. And up until now, you know, so Sasuke is over here threatening people, and you know, he almost killed Sakura twice, and you know, telling Kakashi fuck you, and doing the utmost, right? And I think he had beat, this is after I think he killed Orochimaru. So, or quotes, you know, open quotes, killed Orochimaru.
Is he ever
so
dead?
Up until this point, like, he was just like feeling himself, right? He was smelling himself, right? And he's a 16-year-old boy, so why wouldn't he? So now he thinks that he can fully challenge and take out a Jinchuriki. The 8th Jinchuriki.
Yeah, exactly.
So the second strongest Jinchuriki. You felt so confident that you had what it takes to take him down. And I'm not saying confidence is a bad thing. I'm not. But you didn't realize, even with your new team, you don't like to rely on people. And even with all of y'all, yes, you were still getting beat up, but this was really the ass whooping. That's like, Sasuke never got beat as a child, obviously, because his parents was murdered.
Sasuke got clapped, bapped, and trapped.
He got put in his, like, that, I think, put some things into perspective for Sasuke. It was like a mini version of the fight that him and Naruto had in the end where they lost their arms, but it was like a mini version of that where it's just like, well, maybe I'm not the baddest bitch in the room.
Yo. And like, I think like he thought he ended up thinking he won that fight.
Yeah.
But like, didn't Killer Bee like transform himself into like a tentacle and like get away?
Yeah, so they got a portion of Killer Bee and they got Killer Bee, but it was like a portion of the tentacle, I think, he transformed.
Well, Killer Bee was just on his way.
Yes.
He said, I'm tired of beating you. I don't want to beat you anymore. You really think you got me? You don't even know nobody from my fucking village.
And I would go so far as to say that Killer Bee didn't even use his full strength in that fight.
Absolutely.
So it's like, goddamn. And you think that would be like a message to Sasuke to, like, you know, train more, or, you know, take a step back, or, you know, evaluate your opponent, or don't bite off more than you could chew. But then after this, we see him challenge all of the Kage. I'm not even gonna get into it, but I feel like it was humbling enough that it was like that little spark of change that Sasuke needed, and that he just needed to get his ass beat.
Ugh.
Yes.
Lastly, we can't finish this without doing some honorable mentions. As I said, we cannot finish any list without having some extra shit to toss up in there because it's too damn hard. So I'm going to kick it off with Kunoichi / Sakura versus Genjutsu. What the fuck is going on, babies? Huh? Every time, like, Sasuke wanted to get one up on Sakura, he would just, like, straight up hit it with the genjutsu. That's all. Like, oh, I think he loves me, and now you wake up on a bench.
Shut up.
He loves me, now you're passed out in a lake. But not even that, like, even when she went against the Mizukage, she got caught up in the genjutsu too. Like, what is going on, guys?
Not Orochimaru. Itachi was pulling the okidoke with the genjutsu too. He
Like,
got Kurenai.
Yo.
And Kurenai, I think, like, in terms of Kurenai and probably other regular people, like, had a impressive genjutsu, but it's like, bitch, you are going against the founder of the genjutsu.
In a fucking nutshell. So it's like, what is going on? Why are you guys so easily trapped in it? Why couldn't you have been like Naruto and learn how to just cut off your chakra completely? Like, he said, okay, I keep getting caught in genjutsu. Let me figure out how to not.
And this is the motherfucker that everybody makes fun of for being so goddamn stupid.
Sakura said, I love Sasuke, so he'll feel my love and he won't do this to me again.
Shut up.
Every time, girl. Every time. But, you know, I guess we know what happens afterwards. Boruto's. They married now.
Knocking boots.
Maybe she's in an eternal genjutsu.
Shut up. Oh my god, imagine.
Right? But that's why she doesn't care that he's not there all the time. Sarada asked her, like, Mom, why are you okay with Dad not being here? And she's all like, Dad's not here.
I don't even want to think about Sasuke getting some foreign wet. But second honorable mention is gonna be the fight between Neji and Naruto. So that was a really important one for me because at the end of the fight, we know Naruto. Well, this is one of the fights I think Naruto most significantly uses, like, his talk no jutsu. I mean, he still was gonna beat that ass either way, but he made sure that he gave his speech as well. And at the end of the fight, Naruto knocks Neji for a loop, and he tells him, well, when I become Hokage, I'm gonna, change the Hyuga clan's ways. And to have watched Naruto Shippuden and then some of Boruto, we see that he does exactly what he says he was gonna do. And on top of Neji, having been deceased, he keeps his promise. He keeps that promise to his friend, and I think that was so memorable. And I really appreciate that it's a trope that they kept throughout the anime because, Naruto's gone through a lot. He's been through many battles, and he's made many promises. You know
what? Like, if you don't know, Neji is my favorite Naruto character, and he's the one person that, like, Naruto, it was hardest for Naruto to win over to me. Like, everybody else kind of saw in, like, their own little ways. He was like, no, unless you beat my ass to a pulp, I will not acknowledge you. And, like, to see the friendship that had later developed to the point where Neji basically sacrificed himself to save Naruto and Hinata, like,
die for them.
To see that shit escalate to that, like, it's like, wow, this battle has to fucking be iconic. Of the Konoha 9, Neji was, like, the only fucking one to die. The only one to die. And he was the only, like, I don't want to say he was the only prodigy, because Shikamaru was a prodigy when it came to, like, analytics and looking into, like, battle techniques and thinking ahead. He's a genius. But to kill fucking Neji?
There was a lot of other people y'all could have took care of.
Y'all could have.
I don't think anybody was going to miss 10-10.
Get 10-10, Ino.
Leave Ino alone.
Choji.
Leave Choji alone.
I put respect on his name, but he can go.
Take Kiba than Choji.
I would absolutely rather take Kiba. What's his name with the bugs? Shino. He can go.
Shino became a teacher, so I guess. But.
You know
what? Prior to Boruto,
what? Oh, what were you about to say? What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say prior to Boruto, I really wouldn't have given a shit what happened to Shino.
Oh shit! I was gonna say prior to Boruto, I wouldn't give a shit what happened to Hinata. I wouldn't.
No, been like, you're bye. So messy. I like Hinata. I feel like there's other women. Oh, you see that? If it has to be a woman that they kill off, there's other women that they could have killed off.
If they're gonna kill off a member of the Hyuga clan, it could be the one who got her ass beat in the Chunin exams. Okay, and that's that on that.
Shh. You know what? She had a different upbringing.
You know what?
She was a very delicate girl.
She had vigorous training more than Neji.
Well, what do you want me to say, Elijah?
I don't want you to say anything. Oh my gosh.
That wraps up our honorable fights and our top fights of the Naruto series. Drop us a comment. Let us know, what are your favorite top fights? Did you agree with any of ours?
You better.
We chose some A1 shit, okay?
That's it. But that wraps up today's 90 Network short. Thank you guys for listening to us. Sound off any opinions, comments, and concerns under this episode's Live Now pick on our Instagram at official 90 Network. And as always, rate, review, and subscribe anywhere you can. Talk to you guys next week.
Later.